This is the Star News Brief. I'm Tina Mombolu. The Public Service Commission is seeking powers to stop ministries, state departments and agencies from recruiting dominant tribes in the civil service until an optimum ethnic balance is achieved. The freeze, if implemented, would see mainly Kikuyus and Kalenjins as well as other big tribes locked out of new state jobs, as well as promotions, as the same would be in favor of minorities. A recent report by PSC on compliance with balance of tribes in public service flagged communities that were overrepresented in government jobs. Overall, the Kikuyu and Kalenjin held at least 51,994 and 43,983 jobs in government respectively. The Luo, who are the fourth largest ethnic group, had 29,594 from the community employed in government. Get a copy of The Star by subscribing to our e-paper for only 40 shillings by logging on to www.mgazzetti.com. What do you do when the very man who is meant to protect and love you becomes your abuser? Where do you run to when his obsessive and insecure personality refuses to let you live in peace, but rather hunt you down to death? This was the fate of Lucy in Jambi, who died in the hands of her former husband, Samuel Njoroge, a former Ruto MCA, on 24th January 2018. The two always had a strained relationship based on the evidence presented by the prosecution in the case. Even though signs of Njoroge's violent nature were evident prior to their dowry ceremony in November 2017, Jambi chose to live with these red flags, which ultimately cost her her life. President William Ruto is asking striking doctors to resume work and accept what the government has offered to hire intern doctors. Ruto emphasized that doctors need to realize that the country does not have the resources to raise wages for its workers. He stressed that the country must manage within its available resources instead of resorting to borrowing to pay wages. The president mentioned that the country's wage bill is excessively high, currently standing at 47% of all revenue collected instead of the recommended 35%. Machakos Governor Wavinya Ndeti has told off her political rivals linking her to corruption. Ndeti told those calling her names over claims that her government was involved in graft to style up and get better things to do. The county chief said she had no time to respond to the few individuals trying to divert her attention from her major role of delivering services to Machakos residents. Ndeti said the same people used political propaganda when she contested for the Machakos gubernatorial seat in 2013 and 2017. She lost the seat to CS Alfred Mutua both times. Deputy Governor Francis Mwangangi told her boss to ignore her critics and focus on her job. Energy access in Africa remains a pressing concern despite growing government efforts to get electricity closer to the people. Yet, energy remains one of the single most important ingredients needed for both the economic transformation of nations and improvement of the livelihoods of individuals. Access to modern energy not only improves healthcare and education, but also catalyzes other critical services, resulting in increased economic prospects and a longer life expectancy. Similarly, the lack of modern energy services stifles social and economic growth, with women bearing the brunt of energy poverty as they toil to support their families. Get a copy of The Star by subscribing to our e-paper for only 40 shillings by logging on to www.mgazzetti.com.